and hooks, don't fail me now. Are you freaking kidding me? Alright, here we go. You're probably wondering why I'm here. Oh, shit, no. No. That is not it, I promise. I am not at work right. Well, I'm technically always at work. It's just kind of the nature of the business, but just like the rest of you, even at work, try to grab some time here or there to, browse the forums or scope out Facebook Marketplace or, maybe watch a Bowen video about whatever game I'm expecting I'll run into in League this week. No, I'm here because just like you watching this, I am kind of obsessed with pinball. And there's just not enough podcasts or videos about the hobby, am I right? No, but seriously, while there is seemingly no end to the pinball content we can consume, I'm here because, well, you know what, first, let's do that thing everyone claims to hate, but secretly loves. Let's do a pinball origin story. Mine. I mean, you know what I do for work, and there have been a few times I was pretty sure I'd be taking this hobby the way I took dance marathons, sea monkeys, and Jell-O salads. So let's flash back to the 30s, the 1930s, the most recent 30s, and anyway, you're probably not confused by that like I am. Anyway, back in the 30s, when Mayor LaGuardia was smashing games in New York, that's when I first got my bones on a machine. Before flippers even, remember those? Nah, you probably don't. Anyway, I was hooked even then, which was frankly pretty depressing. Let me tell you, I know better than to fall in love with anything you mortals cook up. Fads go even faster than Hollywood romances or anti-vaxxers. But I couldn't shake this one. Through the 20th century, in between picking up clients, I'd duck into whatever seedy bar or porno joint might have a machine stashed away in the back room, and eventually I was frightening mall rats so I could drop coin in any 80s or 90s arcade I could find that happened to have a few pins and, the schedule permitting. And as we all know, the early aughts were a little tough to get a pinball fix, but I hoped we would just weather the storm, just like we did before, in the time before Roger made the shop. But then, when everything was going to hell in 2008, I thought, here it goes. I'm finally going to be called in to take the only pinball company left, and with it, a uniquely American industry. While we're here, let me just clear this out of the way right now because I know what a lot of you are thinking right now. You're thinking, but wait, death? I mean, you're death. I mean, couldn't you just, not do it? Sorry, kids, but contrary to popular belief, I don't make those decisions. I just do the reaping. The choice of when to harvest is completely out of my choice. Anyway. From a shabby collection of parts with barely a pulse, like Frankenstein's monster, the pinball community was resurrected and has been shambling along ever since, learning about itself, growing stronger. And now, here we are, summer of 2022, with a lot of hope for the pins of the future. And I tell you all of this because it kind of explains why I'm here. It's the purpose of this whole project, really. I mean, I'm calling this Death Saves Pinball. Not because I have any control over whether the industry lives or dies, like I said, but apart from being a great pun, right? Am I right? Even if it's a technique I still can't do, it kills my wrist. Don't you people have tilt pops on your games? Okay, let's be honest. Just like Shelley's creation, to keep my kind of ridiculous metaphor clugging chumsily along. Just like Frankenstein's monster, and sadly, like most fandoms in general, we, as a community, are capable of such terrible things. Hurtful words, awful judgment, intolerance, and misplaced rage. Sorry. All over this silly hobby, built around ridiculously expensive toys, something we consider to be fun. And look, I get it. I cringed along with you at that Pinball Adventures promo video last year. I'm feeling my hackles rise whenever I look at any recent pricing, used or new in box. And even as I'm waiting with no estimated date for the delivery of my own Godzilla. And trust me, I shared in your schadenfreude at the SEC charges against Bobby Pinball. But your buddy Death is here to remind you that all good things can and do come to an end. So while we're here, we need to celebrate all that is wonderful about the world of pinball. I mean, let's take those examples I just gave. Okay, like Pinball Adventures is at least working on making new games. Punny Factory might be out soon. And Elements has a prototype. They're both original themes. That's cool. Let's cheer them on. While never giving them pre-order money, of course. Price increases. They're a fact of life, especially considering lingering COVID-related supply chain issues and the fact that the market is just so damn hot right now. Y'all do listen to the news, right? Inflation at a level not seen since Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man was a shiny brand new machine, back when Bally meant pinball and arcade games, not casinos, Chapter 11 sports broadcasts, what? Or whatever kind of fashion is sold at Bally.com. Want to blame anything? Blame capitalism. And let's face it, that's it. Well, okay, you gotta face it, I don't have a... Anyway, it's a great sign that we are a long way from the lean, oh no, we're going the way of the no-no feeling of the early 2000s. Speaking of, that sucked, by the way. Taking the last dodo, please take care of the environment a little better. Last of species calls are the pits, and there'll definitely be no more pinball if I have to do one of those for humanity. But, okay, back to the issues. Sure, I can complain about having to wait for my Godzilla, but I mean, dude, have you played the game? It's incredible. The very fact that it exists is reason to celebrate. Elwin is just consistently knocking it out of the park. We're living in a new golden age for the hobby. And as for positivity out of the deep root debacle, let's see. Well, hey, Steve Bowden, huh? He has a new gig. He's now with American Pinball, huh? And I gotta admit, I do love to see shitheads get their just desserts. So, that's what I'm aiming for here. To help you to look on the bright side. Look to Death Saves Pinball for a semi-regular dose of pinball positivity. Perhaps I can serve our community as a bulwark against our natural flame wars and petulance. Or you can continue tearing yourselves apart. After all, the world can always use more spare parts. Until soon, Pinball's hourglass is at a standstill. Enjoy it.